Demi Moore's life story reads like a Hollywood screenplay, complete with childhood trauma, meteoric rise to fame, personal struggles, and an inspiring comeback. Born 𝐑𝐞𝐬𝐮𝐫 on November 11, 1962 in Roswell, New Mexico, Moore would grow up to become one of the most recognizable faces in cinema, breaking barriers for women in Hollywood while battling her own demons. Her journey from a dysfunctional childhood to becoming the highest-paid actress in the world by 1995 is a testament to her resilience and talent. A turbulent childhood. The foundation of resilience. Moore's early life was marked by instability and trauma. Her biological father abandoned the family before she was born, and she was raised by her mother Virginia and stepfather Dan 𝐘𝐸𝐮𝐥𝐭𝐬, both struggling with alcoholism. The family moved an astonishing 30 times before Moore turned 14, creating a rootless existence that would later inform her acting. At age 15, Moore endured a horrific sexual assault by a man who claimed her mother had sold access to her for $500, a betrayal that would haunt her for decades. She dropped out of high school at 16, moved out, and began modeling before transitioning to acting, a path that would become her salvation. The Brat Pack years. Launching a star. Moore's career began with small roles in films like Choices, 1981, and Parasite, 1982. But her breakout came with the soap opera General Hospital, 1982 to 1984. Her true stardom emerged as part of the Brat Pack in the 1985 ensemble film, St. Elmo's Fire, where she played the wild and troubled Jules. During filming, director Joel Schumacher confronted Moore about her cocaine use and forced her into rehab, a turning point that likely saved her life and career. Her performance in 1980's 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐿, About Last Night, opposite Rob Lowe showcased her dramatic range, with critic Roger Ebert praising, "There isn't a romantic note she isn't required to play in this movie, and she plays them all flawlessly." The 1990s. Global superstardom. Moore reached new heights in 1990 with Ghost, the highest-grossing film of the year. Her portrayal of grieving widow Molly Jensen earned critical acclaim and proved her bankability. She followed this with a string of hits including A Few Good Men, 1992, Indecent Proposal, 1993, and Disclosure, 1994, where she broke type as a sexual harasser. In 1996, Moore made history by becoming the highest-paid actress at the time, earning $12.5 million for striptease, a salary that drew criticism and the derisive nickname Gimme More. Her dedication to roles like G.I. Jane, 1997, for which she famously shaved her head and underwent intense military training, demonstrated her commitment to her craft despite mixed results. Demi Moore opens up about being raped at the age of 15 and how her mother put her in danger. Let's understand in this video. Moore, 56, first opened up in a profile for the New York Times, but as the promotional blitz ramped up this week, she sat down with ABC's Diane Sawyer to elaborate on the scintillating stories she laid bare in Inside Out. Yes, her belly-bearing Vanity Fair cover that trailblazed a trend in the magazine biz is also discussed. Her rocky childhood. The personal tale begins with the G.I. Jane star discussing her troubled childhood. She reveals that, when she was a kid, her teenage mother battled alcoholism and suicide, and Moore remembers at age 12, digging pills out of her mom's mouth. She later learned that the man she thought was her dad wasn't her biological father. Sexual assault. Her mother also took her to bars to get attention from men, Moore writes. That apparently led to Moore being sexually assaulted by a man her mother knew. The man claimed that her mother whored her out for $500. "I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access and put me in harm's way," she told Sawyer. Surprisingly, Moore dedicated the tome to her mother and her own 3 daughters. Moore said it's meant to help others who might be struggling. Career ascent. Moore attempted to break away from her troubled youth by taking up acting, saying she had a fake-it-till-you-make-it mindset and the confidence that she didn't have anything to lose. She had her breakthrough at age 19 when she appeared on the ABC soap opera, General Hospital. But she tempered her industry fears with alcohol and cocaine. That irony played out when she portrayed a cocaine user in 1985's St. Elmo's Fire. But her appearance in the youth drama led to a directive to go to rehab. After that, she stayed clean for nearly 20 years. Her career highs were well documented after that, with Ghost, A Few Good Men, Indecent Proposal and 𝐘𝐸𝐿, catapulting her to become one of the highest-paid actresses in Hollywood. That also earned her the nickname Demi Moore. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't all women be paid equal to the quality of the work that they're doing? She told Sawyer. She later took a break from Hollywood to raise her 3 daughters with then-husband Bruce Willis. I think that we did a magnificent job of making sure that our children knew they were loved, she said. The 𝐘𝐸𝐿 years' highs and lows. Moore's love affair with and subsequent marriage to that 70s show alum Ashton Kutcher was closely tracked in the tabloids because of their stark age difference. Moore was 40 at the time and had already split with Willis. Kutcher was 25. I was a 40-year-old who had a big life, Moore writes in the book. And Ashton's adult life was just beginning. I didn't see all that because I was inside of it. I just felt like a 15-year-old girl hoping somebody liked me. I think that I had been responsible for so much of my life, and all of a sudden this window opened up where I was safe, she told Sawyer in a segment that aired Tuesday. I had money. He loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband Willis. I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks. The happy years didn't last long, however. The new book appears to do a lot of finger-pointing, blaming Kutcher for encouraging the couple to have threesomes and break her sobriety, while he allegedly cheated. She also learned of Kutcher's cheating scandal through media reports. Because we had brought a third party into our relationship, Ashton said, that blurred the lines and to some extent justified what he'd done, Moore writes. A rep for Kutcher did not immediately respond to the Times' request for comment on Moore's allegations. In a separate interview with Ellen DeGeneres airing Tuesday, Moore said that she talked to Kutcher before the book's release. She also acknowledged that all the experiences she wrote about were told from her point of view. Miscarriage and divorce at 42. Moore also revealed that she got pregnant at 42 but suffered a miscarriage 6 months into the pregnancy, a fact she also revealed in a new New York Times profile. Moore said she and Kutcher tried in vitro fertilization several times. I really lost everything that was in front of me, my family. And I think the toll that took on Ashton, it's natural when someone gets too clingy to pull back, she told Sawyer. Moore said she had broken her 2 decades of sobriety by drinking again and popping 12 Vicodin pills a day. The couple officially ended their 6-year marriage in November 2011 after Moore suffered from ill health and broke up before briefly going into rehab. They reportedly reached a divorce settlement in 2013, shortly after Kutcher began dating his That 70s Show co-star Mila Kunis, whom he later married and had 2 children with. I know for a fact that parts of what happened with the end of that relationship was devastating to me, that it wasn't really about that relationship, Moore told Sawyer. It was really about my whole life, she added. It was about having a 2-year-old who wasn't safe, that it really showed that I'm not lovable, that I'm not worthy. And it's not about him. It's all about me. Personal life. High-profile relationships and struggles. Moore's personal life often made headlines. Her 1987 marriage to action star Bruce Willis produced 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, and though they divorced in 2000, they maintained an amicable co-parenting relationship. Her 2005 marriage to Ashton Kutcher, 15 years her junior, became tabloid fodder and ultimately ended in 2013 amid infidelity rumors. Moore's struggles with substance abuse resurfaced during this period after nearly 2 decades of sobriety. In her memoir, Inside Out 2019, she revealed how Kutcher's dismissal of alcoholism, I don't know if alcoholism's a real thing. I think it's about moderation, contributed to her relapse. A 2012 incident where she suffered a seizure after using synthetic cannabis led to estrangement from her daughters and forced her to confront her demons. The comeback, the substance, and critical acclaim. After years of being on pause, as Michelle Yeoh put it, Moore made a stunning comeback in 2024 with The Substance, a body horror film exploring aging and self-image in Hollywood. Her fearless performance as fading star Elizabeth Sparkle earned widespread acclaim, and her first Golden Globe win for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, musical or comedy. In her emotional acceptance speech, Moore reflected, "I've been doing this a long time, like over 45 years, and this is the first time I've ever won anything as an actor. I'm just so humbled and so grateful." The role also earned her nominations for an Academy Award, BAFTA, and Screen Actors Guild Award, which she won. Legacy: breaking barriers and inspiring others. Moore's impact extends beyond her filmography. She was a trailblazer for pay equality in Hollywood, fighting for and achieving unprecedented salaries for actresses in the 1990s. As Gwyneth Paltrow noted, "She was really the first person who fought for pay equality and got it, and really suffered a backlash from it. We all certainly benefited from her." Her willingness to address topics like addiction, body image, and aging in Hollywood through both her memoir and recent roles has made her an inspiration for women in the industry. Moore herself has come to terms with her journey. "Today, I celebrate this as a marker of my wholeness, and of the love that is driving me, and for the gift of doing something I love and being reminded that I do belong." Conclusion: the substance of survival. Demi Moore's story is one of extraordinary resilience. From her traumatic childhood to her battles with addiction, from being objectified as Hollywood's it girl to being dismissed as past her prime, she has continually reinvented herself. Now in her 60s, with a career renaissance underway, Moore embodies the message at the heart of The Substance, that a woman's value isn't determined by her youth or appearance, but by her talent, strength, and authenticity. As she told The Guardian, "What really struck me was the harsh violence against oneself. It's not what's being done to you, it's what we do to ourselves." Having survived both Hollywood's cruelty and her own self-doubt, Demi Moore's greatest role may be as a living testament to the power of perseverance. Demi Moore is 60.